Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property. Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there and age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about avoidant behavior, what to look for in your relationship, how to navigate through such, because there's a lot of people who are going to deal with an avoidant individual and not actually know what it is that they're getting into, right? And so I want to even speak from my own personal experience, because in the world of AI, in the world where you type in ChatGPT and you don't necessarily get the full context of what is going on. Those who are probably clicking on this video today, they've had a push and pull dynamic. In my own experience, I was pursued, and then over time, the dynamic kind of shifted. What do I mean by that? So as an independent, I would say we're both independents, right? Very successful and thriving in our own rights. I had an idea of what I wanted, and during that process, I was being affirmed that, yeah, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. I'm cool with everything, not a problem. And so when that dynamic starts to take shape and takes hold, you start to think towards, okay, what next? I have a forward-thinking future outlook, right? And so like most men, you're probably going to start thinking about, oh, where do I want to live? What do I want to do? Where do I want to work? How do I want to be with this person moving forward? And so for that avoidant person, what they're struggling with is having their own independence while also building a life with someone else. You see, the key things that I took away from understanding my own feelings and my own relationship is also understanding that some people, although they may want a particular outcome, they may long for true love, satisfaction, and all of these things. At the end of the day, they are also afraid of a long-term attachment. They're afraid of diving in too deep. They're afraid of the connection that could be if they were fully emotionally available. They're afraid of the hurt that could come with fully opening up. And so when I were to speak my piece or show any emotional vulnerability, instead of assessing the situation and saying, I hear you, I feel you, maybe we can work on this, and getting that reassurance, it was a complete and total shutdown, right? Shutting down completely, not saying anything. And that happened more than a couple of times, more than 3 times to be exact. And so when I noticed that, I'm not over here thinking, okay, this is an avoidant person. This is someone who is emotionally out of touch. This is someone who can't tap in and express themselves and allow me to know what it is that they're feeling. So at the end of the road, when we get to the end of the road, now this person just wants to blame you for all that has happened. And a lot of the times, this is not just avoidant people. This is most people, especially females. They would like to blame you for everything that happened throughout the relationship, instead of taking a little bit of accountability and saying, hey, I could have did this better, I could have did that better. This is where we could have worked to fix things. Because guys, I am not an expert in relationships whatsoever, but I can tell you that I was, and just like most people here who are watching this video, they were trying to communicate effectively, clearly, and they thought that if they just communicated more, that they would be heard. The problem is is that they were heard, but they weren't listened to. You see? And so when that person shut down on you, they were essentially putting a guard up. It doesn't matter if you've been together 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 10 years. They put that guard up to protect themselves, to protect their individuality, to say, okay, I'm willing to give this much, but I don't want to go all in because I'm scared of what all in might bring. And again, it's not that they're doing it on purpose. It is a reset button in their system telling them that if they dive all the way in too deep, they might not be able to swim back up. They might not be able to do this life thing without you. And so for someone like me who is already independent, already self-sufficient, it was more so me trying to relinquish a part of myself in order to grow something together, but now understanding that I may not have to do that at all. In fact, right, if you were with an avoidant person, you may opt in to just continue the independent life that you were living with said person. Is that the relationship dynamic that you want? Is that the relationship style that you want? Not fully investing into each other because of the potential of being heartbroken, because of the potential of being betrayed. Well, guess what? Regardless of what you want, if you're not fully diving into the relationship, it will all falter. And it's easy for someone to say that, yes, that avoidant person is just going to get over it. No, they're not. They're also going to struggle with what happened. They're also going to struggle with what was said and what was done. But a lot of it just happens to be lies. You can't tell the truth from a lie because at the end of the day, when someone is not communicating with you clearly and their actions are showing something different, what can you believe in that relationship? And so not only did I pride myself on honesty and clear communication, but I don't believe that that was reciprocated. And a lot of people who, again, are watching this video today are going to say, yeah, I don't believe that I was communicated to clearly. I don't believe I was communicated to effectively. I don't believe that this person truly gave me their all the same way I was trying to give them my all. And the thing is that you can do whatever it is that you want to do as an individual, but it does not mean that that person is going to reciprocate that same energy or that they're obligated to. Nobody is obligated to reciprocate your energy, right? And so what can you do? Unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to want to hear this, but what you can do is start the process of moving on, start the process of understanding yourself, start the process of understanding what affected you within that relationship and looking for what is not that. So non-communication when things get heated, emotionally disengaged, right? Things like that, not being able to express themselves, pulling away, and then just piling a whole bunch of information until they're finally ready to blow up, right? And so instead of communicating that, because you might communicate, hey, tell me what is bothering you, talk to me, da 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 da. It does not matter if they don't want to do that, right? And so, you know, a lot of the times I've had a lot of people fight for my affection, fight for my love, but you'll realize that a lot of the times they're not really trying to work on anything. They just want you there right now. And for me, it was more so, okay, if you're willing to work on this, and this, anything is possible. But at least, you know, not everybody's going to give that opportunity for a second chance, give that opportunity for that door to open again. And so some people rather live in that lie because it's better than the truth. At the end of the day, you have to figure out what's best for you and start to move in that direction. The hardest thing to do, but also the best thing to do for yourself is start to create healthy habits. Start to also disattach. remember why you were there in the first place. You had issues that were unaddressed. You had issues that you wanted to correct because you truly wanted this to work, but they just were not available. They were not emotionally ready, and they have the capacity to do so, but they chose not to. They chose to shut down. And sometimes it's not even by choice. Again, it's a reset button within them that's telling them, whoa, this is too much. Let me pull back now before it gets too heated. And if you're anything like me, the best thing that you can do is start to understand what it is that you want for your future and continue to pursue that again, right? Because a lot of the people who are going to struggle with avoidant nature is not about the person per se. And this is where a lot of people actually get it messed up. It's not about the person. It's more so about the future that you thought you would have with the person. Because if I ask you, what was so great about this person and what didn't you like in that relationship, you'll start to remember all the things that you were trying to address that were not being addressed in that moment. All the things that you tried to talk through, all the things that you tried to work on, all the chances that you were given and all the chances that they didn't accept. The chance to talk, the chance to therapy, the chance to whatever the case may be in your case. Right? And so that only leaves one option. Are those things going to be fixed if you were to start over again? Are those things going to be healed? Is that person going to have some accountability and have matured enough to have those conversations and have those dialogues? The truth is they may not be ready. They may never be ready, because if they don't ever confront those things for themselves in order to be with the person that they want to be with, then they'll continue to struggle with this. They'll continue to be single, potentially have children later on. And then at that point, it depends on you whether or not you'll accept said person back in your life. Because I know for me personally, if someone has children and I'm childless, I'm not going. I am not going, right? So that is like an easy killer for me. Just send them off on their way. So for me, like, I understand attraction. I understand my standing. I understand my capabilities. And I understand that if I were to need you in any capacity, that you wouldn't be there to fill that void for me. And so if I can't rely on you even for a second in a minute manner, how can I rely on you if anything big were to ever happen? But because you see, we're still here. We're still standing. We're still pushing on. We're still doing what it is we want to do. And then when you decide for yourself that you're ready to just say, you know what, I am done. When you say it to yourself, I am done. Now you open the door for something new, for something vibrant, for something beautiful to start to enter into your life. I used to hate the thought of starting over. I used to hate the thought of investing that same energy again. But the beautiful thing about life is that when one door closes, another one opens, and God always has a vision for what it is that He wants for your life. And so when that door closes and you allow opportunity to come and find you, when you allow love to seek you out, when you allow reassurance, validation, when you allow affirmation, good communication, when you allow someone to be deeply invested into you as you are in them, you have a bond that can't be broken. And that is what I personally look for, whether it's family, whether it's friends, and whether it's relationships. Bonds that cannot be broken, simply put. Because if I can be with you for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and just like that, you can easily be discarded from my life or I from yours, I don't want that type of relationship with friends, with families, or with anyone. And so as someone who has a small circle, I tell people all the time, like, if you are not in it to win it, if you would cut me off for any reason that is minute, don't engage with me whatsoever. I say that to friends, family, and relationships, whatever the case may be, because I'm not investing in someone who so easily discards those that care for them, right? Because what I'm building is grand and great. That's what I know for a fact. And so as I'm doing that, as I'm building the life, the future that I see fit, and you have to determine what that future looks like for you, what that outcome looks like for you, what you're trying to get a hold of in this life. Individually, you have to start to think back on what was you doing before this relationship? What were you doing before all this avoidance? What were you doing before all of this? And then that future that you so chose, you could do that with anyone that you so choose. Let's keep it funky. Let's keep it real funky. You could do that future with anyone you so choose. It's just up to you to say, you know what? I'm good. I'm good, I'm grown, and I'm ready. All right? Now, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.